An afternoon accident has sent a Magic Valley man to the hospital. We'll show you what happened.
And then a look at the secret sauce that makes the Magic Valley the envy of the state.
Breaking news alerts, top stories, and your weather authority forecast. With Joe Martin and Amy Burnett, this is Idaho's First News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. One person is hospitalized after a wreck near Fido this afternoon. State troopers say a minivan was headed east on Highway 30 at around 1:40. That's when it was hit from behind while trying to turn left into 2100 East. The van then veered into the westbound lane and hit a pickup truck. The driver of the minivan, 77-year-old Paul Nayart, was taken to St. Luke's Magic Valley. It's not clear how badly he was hurt. The crash, which blocked traffic for over an hour, is still under investigation.
Jerome County's new jail is one step closer to becoming a reality. The commissioners and members of law enforcement continue to lay a solid foundation for the project. Jay Michaels for Idaho's First News brings us this update on the progress.
And the winner is LCA Architects of Ketchum signed a $352,000 contract with Jerome County to pull together bridging documents to build the new proposed Jerome County Jail.
And we're starting to spec out the requirements of this facility, get a little bit more detailed, and when he gets enough stuff put together, he'll be able to actually put this down on paper and start the final schematic diagram.
And then he goes to the contractors, and it tells the contractors exactly how we want our jail built. And that's essentially what a bridging document is. Roger
Morley points out that on this project, there are plenty of legal hoops Jerome County needs to jump through with both the state and federal governments. Sheriff Doug McFall says input from the public task force will help them avoid as many pitfalls as possible along the way.
Well, that's what we're doing. We've done our best to involve the public. We've got our public task force. We want to make sure nobody is left out of the process, because this is a facility that will shine for Jerome for a very long time.
In Jerome, Jay Michaels, Idaho's First News.
Planned construction on the facility is expected to begin early this summer.
Well, a new candidate is in the running for Idaho Superintendent of Public Instruction. Dr. Janet Jones, who lost a narrow 2006 race to Tom Luna, announced today that she will be challenging him again. Jones said she wants Idaho to have safe schools, great teachers, up-to-date classrooms, and a challenging curriculum. She also said if elected, she will do things differently than Luna.
Try and instill trust in the office as well as in the State Department of Ed again. That's really diminished over time. I would also work to be very transparent in policy making.
Jones is from Idaho Falls and a graduate of Skyline High School. She has 40 years of experience in education.
The Magic Valley is making regional news for its economic boom. In this month's issue of the North Idaho Business Journal, Twin Falls is featured as the secret sauce of Idaho. Andrew Reed for Idaho's First News explains.
It's the question everyone's wondering. How is the Magic Valley bringing in so many large corporations, which is adding hundreds of jobs?
I think that the recession is over in Idaho. It's definitely booming in this area, and we're really going to see the effects of these new businesses over the next couple of years.
According to the North Idaho Business Journal, the area is seeing an economic punch of a $750 million capital investment.
Over the past 12 months, we've had over 1,200 new jobs to the region based on either business announcements or business grand openings. So that would include Chobani, Cliff Bar, Frulact Group over in Rupert, Monsanto, and others.
So what's the secret sauce to bringing in business? Many say it's teamwork made by community leaders and business owners.
I think it's a combination of several things. The College of Southern Idaho plays a big part, our organization, and the Business Plus, which is the private investor part of economic development.
However, the Business Journal article believes it's the cows that is generating economic development.
Chobani's here because of our cows. So that played a huge part in garnering that business.
Creating jobs for Idahoans and, most importantly, growing the southern Idaho economy. In Twin Falls, Andrew Reed, Idaho's First News.
Cliff Bar is expected to begin construction in 2015, and Frulac Group plans to open in Rupert this fall.
Well, many of us woke up to snow this morning. Take a look at this video we got early today off the canyon. We haven't seen snow for nearly 2.5 weeks here in the Magic Valley. Local law enforcement told us Drivers did slow down and they had just a few minor wrecks. Well, the water feeds the crops here in southern Idaho and is the lifeblood of the agricultural community. And with winter in full swing, the snow that falls in the mountains determines how much local water farmers can use. But this year, the amount of snow hitting the ground has been below what experts need. Brian Olmstead is the general manager of the Twin Falls Canal Company, and he says this dry winter could mean problems this coming growing season.
We've got pretty empty reservoirs and a snowpack that's down to around 90% of normal. So right now we're really just probably one major storm behind, but if we go through January and don't get a major storm, then we're two major storms behind, and that gets really hard to make up in February, March, and April.
Now, if you're interested in water conservation and irrigation, next week in Burley, the Idaho Irrigation Equipment Association is holding the annual Idaho Irrigation Show. That will take place January 15th and 16th inside the Burley Best Western Inn. Speaking of snow, we may see some tonight.
Yes, and we'll probably come in by, like it did last night, somewhere between midnight and 2 a.m. And there could be some bursts of snow as well. Temperatures, we're going to watch those closely, could be right around the freezing mark. But here's how we saw things earlier this evening. Your Mountain Home Auto Ranch sky camera, a little time lapse of those clouds. The leading edge, it broke up from the last system, and then quickly the new system began to work its way in here. We can show you that better on our satellite and radar. Already starting to see some of that area of precipitation over towards Boise and Mountain Home. The pinks indicate a wintry mix of rain and snow. It's starting to try to fill in some more as it makes its way on off towards our area. But again, I think about midnight to 2 a.m. The temperatures right now are starting to warm back up a little bit, near the freezing mark or slightly above. You see that from Boise to Twin Falls. That's good news because it's going to initially start here as rain, then be all snow by morning, but still that could mean an inch or two on the ground when you head into work or school. But here are your ski conditions, Soldier Mountain, Magic Mountain. They could use this storm and a few others. We'll talk more about that coming up in your full Weather Authority forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks. Well, 50 years ago today, then President Lyndon Johnson declared war on poverty here in America.
2 generations later, government programs have helped lift millions out of poverty, but income inequality is growing. Danielle Nottingham reports from Washington.
It can get crowded in Jeanette Craig's Washington, D.C. apartment.
Want some orange juice? Yeah.
The retiree shares the 2-bedroom space with her daughter, grandson, and 2 great-grandchildren. With the help of subsidized housing and Social Security, she's able to keep a roof over their heads.
It's been a struggle, you know, off and on, but I've been dealing with it, thank God.
Craig is getting by thanks to programs launched after President Lyndon Johnson made ending poverty the focus of his State of the Union address 50 years ago.
Unconditional war on poverty in America.
When LBJ declared a war on poverty, 19% of Americans were living below the poverty level. Today, it's 15%. Many lawmakers say after 50 years, that number should be much lower. President Johnson's daughter said her dad was dealing with a willing Congress.
It was a moral issue, and the Congress saw it as such.
Lawmakers are in an ideological battle over growing income inequality. Republicans are calling for fewer government programs.
One solution that we all know that works is a job.
Something Jeanette Craig agrees with, but says her entire family would be homeless without the government's help. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In other news, the family of 4 U.S. Air Force members who died in this helicopter crash have been notified. Investigators are combing through the wreckage of the Pavehawk aircraft to understand why the military chopper went down in the marshlands on England's east coast. U.S. officials say the helicopter was on a low-level training mission when it went down Tuesday night. U.S. Air Force works out of a nearby Royal Air Force base. Also today, a Navy helicopter with 5 crew members on board went down in the Atlantic off the Virginia coast during a routine mission, killing 2 and injuring 2. The U.S. Navy said rescuers were still looking for a 5th person.
School officials in Jerome are looking to make some changes. We'll tell you what they are.
And then a bit later on in sports, high school basketball is in full swing. Jason Carter will have all of tonight's highlights and scores. Your News at 10 will be right back.
Always breaking news alerts, top stories, and your Weather Authority forecast. This is Idaho's First News at 10.
Jerome School District officials are asking for a bond totaling $24 million, and it will be up to voters to decide this March.
Stephanie Mead for Idaho's First News shows us what the money will be used for.
Student enrollment in Jerome continues to increase. About 200 additional students are enrolled compared to 2 years ago. Those numbers are expected to climb to 450 students by the year 2017-2018.
Based upon enrollments right now, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, that when those students get to our high school, it's going to be overcrowded. And we have the same problems with our middle school and our elementary schools. Thankfully, Jerome is growing, which is wonderful, but it also means that our current facilities are just not adequate for the number of students we're going to have coming.
With the bond, the main focuses will be adding 16 new classrooms, enlarging the cafeteria, and building another gymnasium. What's more concerning to the administration is the safety of the student.
The majority of the bond money will go to Jerome High School, and one of the main reasons is to move this office right behind me down to the main floor.
The Facilities Advisory Committee began meeting in June. To understand why the money was needed, they toured the schools.
That's one of the things we did with the committee early on, was tour the schools so that they could see, kind of get a hands-on feel for what's going on. So I would encourage people, if they have questions, to sure ask.
Residents will vote on this bond on March 11. In Jerome, Stephanie Mead, Idaho's First News.
For more information on the potential tax amounts of the bond passes, check out our website.
Well, even with all this winter snow, it's still not too soon to sign up to be a firefighter this summer. The Bureau of Land Management is holding application workshops. To sign up, you need an email address, and you can fill out the application on a computer at the College of Southern Idaho. You'll need to be at least 18 years old, a U.S. citizen, and have at least 6 months of general work experience.
We fill approximately 75 seasonal positions, and new employees, we're probably looking at 10 to 20 that we're looking to fill.
Your next chance to sign up with the BLM is next Monday, the 13th, from 3 to 8 p.m. That's in room 103 of the Shields building over at CSI.
Well, pinpoint Doppler showing some precipitation here on the map near Mountain Home. A lot of this light, I still expect that we're probably 2 to 4 hours away from the main precipitation and main moisture to arrive with snow and rain before it becomes all snow by morning. How will this impact your morning commute? I'll tell you coming up next in your forecast.
Market updates brought to you by Waddell & Reed.
This is your Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brian Newdorf.
Well, as expected, the snow that we saw came through this morning, put down for most in the valleys a coating to an inch. Some places in some of the higher elevations, the mountains picked up a couple more inches than that. Now we have more, and this time winter weather advisories, all shaded in white here for including Jerome, Burley, Twin Falls, Minidoka, Lincoln, Shoshone would be there. But that goes from tonight at 11 o'clock until Thursday about midday. Now we have a winter storm warning in blue. That is for northern Blaine County. That goes from 11 o'clock tonight until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, and that's where we're going to see some of the higher amounts. And we have actually higher amounts in southern Twin Falls, and of course Magic Mountain and Pomerelle, you might be seeing anywhere from 3 to 6, maybe more, up to near 10 inches. So here's what we're tracking. Here comes the next system, rain and snow. A little bit of snow broke off there with that first round of moisture. Might bring in a little drizzle or flakes, but I don't think it's going to be too much here. The next big wave comes in somewhere around 2 a.m. and then moves through the morning hours. Temperatures are going to play an important role here. Right now we are seeing 34, we've been at 35, back and forth, but we really haven't moved much all night, and with more moisture moving in here, temperatures will stay at or above freezing. That's important when dealing with snow. We'll probably get the snow, but onset will be rain, and then with the ground warm, it may just be more of a slush on the roadways than an icy mix. So here we are, 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. There's a rain, maybe some rain and snow mixed in before it changes over to all snow, then quickly moves through. Winds are strong, 10 to 20, 15 to 25 miles an hour, gust of 30. Snow moves out, but because it's a heavier wet snow, I don't see a lot of blowing and drifting. Then as we head into your Friday, here we are midday, fairly quiet, a bit of a breeze. And then by Friday evening, and here we are 2 a.m. on your Saturday, some scattered areas, mostly I think rain for our area, but some places may see a few flakes out of it. So here's how we see your snowfall forecast from Sun Valley, 2 to 5 inches, north of Ketchum, 5 to 10 inches up towards Stanley. Jerome, Twin Falls, Burley, you're probably looking at just 1 to 3 total by midday. And then as you look at 2 to 5 inches, southern Twin Falls County and some of those mountains just off towards our south, we see anything from about 5 to 10 inches. So here's how we see your temperatures, and this will be a key as we go into 1 o'clock. Even temperatures really don't move, but they get a little bit cooler by 1 o'clock, falling into the 20s overnight, but then bounce back Friday into the 40s. So I think although we get the snow, I think the saving grace for most of you traveling tomorrow will be those temperatures at or slightly above freezing. But snow coming after midnight, 1 to 3 by morning in the Wood River, 24 degrees. Maybe a coating to 2 inches for some of you in the Magic Valley. Rain, then over to all snow, 32. But some of that rain may still hold on and mix in. Rain and snow again coming in late, coating to 2 inches of snow possible, 29 degrees. Tomorrow, 34 snow showers, an additional 1 to 2 in the Wood River. Coating to 1 inch, windy though, 37 for a high of 36. Similar snow, mostly morning, windy, and a coating to 1 inch. Your Middlecoff Auto Group 7-day forecast. Break on Friday, then rain showers Saturday, 45. Sunday flurries, 37. Better weather Monday and Tuesday, a little bit of a break with snow showers on Thursday, just some scattered snow Friday. Rain and snow showers on Saturday, and then Sunday scattered snow showers, 32 degrees with a break Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There's a look at your forecast.
Protecting your health while on the job. A look at that when Idaho's First News at 10 returns.
Breaking news alerts, top stories, and your Weather Authority forecast. This is Idaho's First News at 10.
Occupational medicine promotes the health of workers through preventive medicine, clinical care, research, and education.
Considering the amount of time we spend at work, protecting our health on the job is important. A look at occupational health is tonight's Eye on Health report.
In the Occupational Medicine Department at St. Luke's Magic Valley, caregivers are committed to keeping our workforce healthy.
Occupational health is the practice of medicine as it relates to employees and employers, pre-employment physicals, people who are injured at work. We take care of those people.
In the Magic Valley area, more than 3,500 companies partner with St. Luke's Health System in their occupational medicine programs.
If an injured employee from a company should visit any St. Luke's facility, the care, the pricing, the information that the employer gets back is identical throughout all the St. Luke's facilities.
Taking care of the health care needs of the patient is the first priority, but occupational medicine also works to protect the interests of the employer.
But then the other side of that is making sure we communicate with the employer what the care plan is for that patient, work restrictions, when the patient is safe and able to return to work and in what capacity, and just making sure that the employer gets the information they need.
Many occupational safety and health requirements are enforced by law through OSHA and other agencies. Companies also feel a moral obligation to protect the health of their employees. Healthy workers also help companies save money. In Twin Falls, Kevin Ryan, Idaho's First News.
The way you watch TV may be in for a big change in the near future. Sony announced yesterday that it plans to test cloud-based TV services later this year. Now, the company hopes to offer TV service similar to cable that would include TV channels, on-demand episodes, and the ability to record programming. The move to virtual cable providers has been talked about before, but Sony's announcement seems to signal its intention to be among the first to offer it. Busy night on the basketball courts tonight.
Yeah, very much so. Last night it was all about the ladies. Tonight, well, the guys are going to enter some big conference matchups, including the Battle of the Bridge. We'll have highlights coming up after this timeout.